So UGREEN just sent me this and they wanted to make a video how to set up a NAS in 2026. So if you are sick of paying for subscription prices for your cloud storage, then this video is for you. Perhaps you've heard about a NAS and you're thinking, oh, it's too complicated. I promise, after watching this video, it's not complicated whatsoever. I'll show you how to set it up so you can do it for yourself. Whether you're using UGREEN NAS or something else, the principles are basically the same.
By the way, this is UGREEN's brand new GT series NAS. The series includes both the 4-bay and 2-bay units, and it's what they call next generation NAS built for speed, endurance, and all-around performance. Also, there is a special 20% discount code available in the description, valid from 8th till the 22nd of June 2026.
Now bear in mind, you do need hard drives and SSDs, but you have to purchase them separately unless you buy them off Amazon or something like that, and it already is bundled in this. If you want to pick anything up, I'm going to leave the link in the description below. I gotta say, UGREEN's aesthetics on NASs always super nice and super cool. So remember, in the back here there is a magnetic dust cover as well. Remember to remove this. There we go. So building it is very simple. So you just press the button and then we can remove these trays. And then now all we have to do is install the hard drive onto the tray and pop them in. Press down on the other side and then it expands, and this is toolless installation, which is so nice. So you don't even need the screwdriver. Okay. You can lock all of these bays. There's the tool. So with that thing or a minus head screwdriver, you just, and now you can't open them. Now, if you want to install NVMe SSDs in there as well, this NAS has 2 ports underneath. Ta-da! You can also see RAM slots in there. If you want to upgrade your RAM, voila, all you have to do is just pop another one in here. This supports up to 64 gigabytes. And as you can see, there's 2 NVMe slots in there. We just undo this screw, for example. So we would just install this 990 Pro from Samsung into there, but it's usually gonna get a little bit warm. So UGREEN has got these heat sinks or thermal pads that you should really put on top. There is a massive thermal pad, really thick. The way this works is you're gonna pop it in, and the good thing about the 990 Pro is that it's got the chips only on the top, nothing underneath. So we're just gonna screw that in. All you're gonna have to do is just pop this heatsink on the top of these chips. Make sure it kind of sticks down. We pull the top layer off as well. And now what happens is that this latch, this metal bit, actually becomes heatsink to cool this down. Push this in. We do need the power brick and the Ethernet cables that also come with it. They're really nice. There's a HDMI cable as well that's included with this, which is really nice. But we don't need this either. Now we need to connect this up to our internet, and perhaps this is the part that is most confusing to most people, because you're like, wait a second, but what if my internet speed is super slow? Like, does this even matter? Because what's the point in getting 10 gigabit Ethernet or connection if my internet speed is 1 gigabit per second? Let me explain that. You've got internet coming onto your home office somewhere, and you've got a router, and internet's coming in. It's got some ports on it. It's gonna either wirelessly send the Wi-Fi out or over cables. And you have got your computer over here. Maybe you've got a laptop here. And then in here, we have the NAS, this one in here, okay? If we turn this around, then on the back, you can see 2 ports. Both of these are 10 gigabit Ethernet ports. The way this works is you're gonna connect your NAS directly to your network router, and then your network router is connected to your PC, which means that these 2 can communicate each other. Now, sometimes you also have a switch. So let's say you've got a switch over here with ports on, which I'll show you I have got. That means that you're gonna connect your NAS to the switch, and your PC is not connected to the network provider, but the network provider is connected to the switch, and your PC is gonna connect to this port in there, and your laptop is going to wirelessly connect to your Wi-Fi router or network router, which means that all of these devices are now connected. If you want to connect or access something from the NAS on your laptop, wirelessly, you can access all of this network and then connect to this one. And let's say you are also connected somewhere else around the world with your phone, then now because there is internet over here, your phone can also connect to the internet and then have access to your NAS if you know the access points and so on. Now you know the skeleton system. Let's move it over there and then we'll actually plug it in and show you how I'm setting this up. Bring the power cable and the Ethernet cable. As you can see in the back, we plug in the power, and you take one of the Ethernet cables, and if you come over here, you can see I've got the switch on the bottom there, and this switch is basically where all the network is gathering together. So this is where, like a splitter, and that's connected to my internet router over there. And as you can see, all the other NASs are here as well. They're all connected to it, but all I just need to do now is connect this on the back of my NAS, which means that I'm connected to the internet. And if I connect to the network with a computer that's also connected into the same switch or into the same network, I should be able to access this. You just press the power button in the front here, and voila, as you can see, it has turned on. Now we need to initialize this, and there's two ways to do it. You can do it on your phone or on the computer, but let's show you both. Now, if you want to do it on your phone, you need the UGREEN NAS app, which I already have. And this is actually the one that I have set up at home. So on your app, on the bottom here, you can see new device registration. So if I click on that, it starts looking for a NAS, and you can see, boom, there it is already. And that's super simple. Just follow the steps. On the computer, this for Windows, we've already got that. On Android, it's super simple. We're gonna download that for Windows as well. Run UGREEN NAS. As you can see, it's very similar what it was on the phone. New device registration. It's gonna scan it. And because this computer is connected already to the same network, so make sure you're connected to the same network, it can notice that there is one that is not set up. So we're gonna just press register. Let's call it UGREEN 4bay. Participate in the device analysis improvement program, because it's optional. I always leave them out. Now, account name, test, password. So we're just gonna put that important updates, always update. So we're gonna just press initialize. So sync space, file synchronization, we're just gonna allow this. And it says, hello, welcome to UGREEN NAS. We're gonna press start. You can see all the apps on the top there. You can see a control panel in there. You can see the App Center over there.
UGREEN now has available their Surveillance Center app, which allows you to make this NAS into an NVR of your security system and control the system from the app.
And then personalized settings are over there. Okay. Now, in order to connect to the NAS, I highly recommend doing a few things in there before we can actually connect it over the internet. So we're gonna just press next, and we're gonna need to create a storage pool. So we put all the hard drives in there, but what we need to do is actually create a space for these hard drives where we need to let them know how do we want to utilize this. So we're gonna just press create. It's very important. So we're gonna select these four. As you can see, there's the 4 hard drives that we installed in there. We're gonna use RAID 5. As you can see, it's recommended there as well, which means that if one of the hard drives fails, then we're still gonna have all of our data. All we need to do is just chuck that one, put a new one in, and it will create all of your data, and you're not gonna lose anything. But what that also means that is we're not gonna get the capacity of 4 drives, but the capacity of 3 drives, but any one of the 3 can fail. X4 is the best as well. Let's just make sure that we've got all of the storage allocated to that one, because You can create multiple volumes into that pool as well if you wanted to. Okay, so now it's creating the RAID. In essence, this might take a long time because what it's essentially doing is reorganizing all of the 4 hard drives so that the data will go between them all. So it becomes like a one pool, but any one of those things can fail. So as you can see, current progress, it's 0% in there. But what we'll also do is we're going to create another storage pool, okay? And for that, we're going to use our M.2 SSD that we plugged into there. And we're just going to use it either basic. We're just going to put the basic. It's just the best. It recommends usually good things for you. We're going to create this. And as you can see, we've got storage pool 2. And that's already done. It's all ready to be used. Next, what we need to do is create some folders inside there that we can access. So we're going to go to Files, Create a Shared Folder. So when you go under the Shared Folder, we're going to press Create Shared Folder. We're going to call this, what was it, 10 terabyte 4-bay UGREEN NAS. It goes to volume 1, usage limit. If you want to select that this folder has a usage limit on the pool, we don't want that. I just want that folder to be in that pool. We're not going to hide it in the network. We're not going to do that. Enable recycle bin. That's great. So we're going to just do that. Admin, which we will be read and write. Okay, that's fine. If you create other users, you can make sure that one folder has access to certain people and other folders access to other people, like you're used to on your Google Drive, for example. You create a folder and you're like, okay, I want these people to have access to it. We're doing exactly the same in here. I want to create another shared folder and we're going to put this on the other volume and call it Samsung 990 Pro 1 terabyte. Usage limit, no, and we're going to just press create. Okay, there's 2 folders created now. Now, another thing that I highly recommend you to do is go to Control Panel under Network. Okay, if you want remote access, you're gonna have to UGREEN link remote access. So we're gonna have to put our phone number in and make a UGREEN account because then we can actually access all of our data in there on our phone, even if we're not connected to the Wi-Fi. So if you haven't signed up to the UGREEN account, you're gonna have to do that. I already have that. I need to enable SMB, otherwise this is not gonna work. If we go to About, you can see under Network, what you can see is this IP address. And that IP address is basically just address where everything in the network locally here is at. This is not gonna work for you if you're not connected to the local service or like this internet here. If you are, then this is NAS's address. And when we type this address onto our URL, 192.168.51.10, then basically that network port in the back, voila, we're there. And then now, if you remember, our username was test login, and voila. Now, once we know this address, LAN address, you can access this on the web, but this is not really useful because you want to access your files on your computer. So what you can do is, if you are on your file folder, you are going to put this in there. Okay, / 192.168.10. Exactly the same thing comes up. We want to be logging in because it says, hey, in order to access that address, you need to log in. Test, but make sure you remember your credentials so that the next time you go to your computer, you don't need to log in again. And now, voila, look at this. We have access to these folders that we created. Remember, if you want to make sure that these folders stay always on the side of your PC there, what you can do is click Map Network Drive, okay? You can put whichever drive letter you want into there. We're gonna press Finish, and then now, voila, as you can see, we've got this mapped on the side over there, which means that if I take something, yeah, there we go. Look at this photo over there. I can just copy it, go onto there, I can paste it. And then now you can see that file is on that NAS. If we go back to this bit over there and we map the other folder as well of that Samsung drive, we'll just put it at S because it's a Samsung there. You can see Samsung and these two are now connected in there. I can take files from one folder and then connect it to the other one. Basically now our NAS is set up. We can access our NAS and put all of our files in there. I can see them if I go to the shared folder, see, that picture is there and I can see it online. Now, if I'm gonna take my phone here and I'm gonna take the Wi-Fi off, which means that now I am only connected 5G and I need to share this link. You need remote access, this part that you need on it. And we're gonna add another account. Remember our user, test, enable. So I can log in next time with just my face or biometrics. And look at this. I am connected to that NAS there over 5G, which means nothing with this network is attached to this. I can access all of these files in there. Look, my shared folders, exactly the same thing. When I'm gonna go to Samsung, look at that. The same thing happens in there. Okay, so this is the Samsung folder. I can add pictures from my phone. Okay, confirm. And watch how these are gonna appear there. And I'm doing this over 5G. So these are already there. I might need to refresh this. So if I click over here, I'll refresh, voila. All of these files are in there and I can access them wirelessly anywhere around the world. It's just absolutely amazing. So now you've got your own personal private cloud. People are saying, why do you use 10 gigabit NAS if your internet speed is only like 200 megabits or whatever I have in here? If I actually want to transfer files, so this file on our desktop right now is 6.3 gigabytes per second. If I'm gonna copy that and we're gonna go to that Samsung drive and I'm gonna paste it, look how fast I'm gonna copy it. 1 gigabytes per second. Over 1 gigabyte per second, not gigabits, gigabyte per second. So how is this possible if our internet connection is only 200 megabits per second? Well, I don't actually need to send that file to the cloud somewhere and then send it back to internet-wise to the NAS. Because my computer is connected directly to the NAS, it just sends it directly to the NAS via that 10 gigabit connection. So I'm gonna take this SD card, I'm gonna pop it in the front of this NAS there. So I just plugged it in, voila, there it is. So you might be wondering, how do I access this? Well now, if you are back on your web page where you can see everything, and we're gonna go to files, external storage suddenly appeared here on the external devices. So if I open that, no name, look at that, ooh, there's our files, look at that. Let's take, what is this? Let's open this. I don't know if it can open H.265 files, but we're gonna take this again, copy, and remember that same folder. We're gonna paste it into there, and watch this now. How fast is it copying? Okay, it's copying 91 megabytes per second. So the card reader is not particularly fast because that should be around 300 megabytes per second. If I was to access this on my PC and sent it directly to there, it's there. But anyone on the web can access all of these files. So in this, we've taken these pictures and voila, that got transferred, which means that now you can access everything locally, which is super, super cool. So if you've got external hard drives, you know, that you've already got, plug them into the NAS and now you can access them on the internet. Or when you're on the go with this, because I'm using these over 5G. Over 5G, I can see all of these different photos accessed, which means that if you've got other files on a hard drive that you need to access, let's say other archive, and you're thinking, oh, I really want to show this to my client, but I left it at home, plug it into there. You've got your personal cloud now. You can connect multiple devices to it. That's awesome. And that's how you set up a NAS. If you want to edit directly off it, remember, you've got the mapped network drives on the side there. Use whichever drives you want. It's absolutely amazing. If I take the file from the desktop and I copy it to the hard drive parts now, which are slower, look at that. We're still getting 300 megabytes per second, which is good speed for hard drives. And they haven't even fully created the RAID yet. 5% of RAID created. So this is how you set up a NAS 2026. It's super simple. There's lots of other features and cool things you can do with this. And if you want to use any of the apps here, there's so many other different apps and things that you can download and what you can do with this. I'm just scratching the surface, but in order to set up your personal cloud and server, that's how you do it.
Congratulations! If you've reached this part of the video, you're in the top 13% of people's attention graph. And there's and more than 50% chance that you seeing this means you're not subscribed. So consider subscribing, hitting that bell icon, liking the video. It would mean a world to us. If you'd like to get detailed access to our internal benchmark database of CPUs, GPUs, SSDs, and so on for creators, then may I invite you to sign up to our newsletter, where we send out relevant information a couple of times a month when there is information. I'm not interested in flooding your inbox. This is when there is good information to share for your creative workflow. Then we'll send those emails out. And also you'll get the most exclusive access to some of the behind the scenes, perhaps even giveaways. So scan that QR code or link in the description below. If you've got any urgent questions to me personally, you can always reach out on Minect. I'll always get back to my messages. If you're looking for a new hoodie, may I recommend this one. This is not just any cheap random hoodie. This is a high quality hoodie that you can get. And when purchasing this, we get a small little kickback to help us build what we're building here. My passion is to help creators choose the best tech for their workflow and help them save some money in the process. This is Tech Notice, and if you've reached this part of the video, you have been upgraded to the top 5% of the people who ever see this part. And now YouTube thinks that you like this video, and if you haven't subscribed, you can do it on this side. Thanks very much, guys, for watching. See you soon. Bye-bye.